The remake of Resident Evil 1 is arguably the best Resident Evil game ever created, perfectly embodying the words survival horror. There has been multiple fan games and mods created by the Resident Evil community involving the RE1 remake, and a lot of OG fans and new fans would like to see another remake of Resident Evil 1. Before we get into the video, be sure to like the video and leave a comment, as it would help this video get on the algorithm, and more importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have been enjoying the Resident Evil content that I've been putting out as of recently. And now let's get into the video. The Residents of Evil channel has shared multiple projects on their YouTube channel about RE1 Remake. Whether if it was a first-person remake in the game of Resident Evil 7, a third-person mod in the game of Resident Evil 4, it showcases what Capcom can possibly do if they ever decide to remake this game once more. The realm of possibilities could damn near be endless, and modernizing arguably the greatest setting in Resident Evil history, which is the Spencer Mansion, I would love to see this happen. Now, I am going to be posting some screenshots rather than gameplay from the Residents of Evil channel, but I will leave the links to those videos in the description down below so you guys can watch those videos for yourselves, and they are honestly amazing videos, so you guys should definitely check them out. But after watching those videos, it brings a lot of questions that is in the realm of possibilities for another Resident Evil 1 remake, and specifically this one came to my mind. If RE1 got remade again, what camera would it have? The camera is one of the most important things in a Resident Evil game. Many fans have been debating if this game got remade on what camera should they use. The fixed camera angle wouldn't be in this conversation since the first remake got that camera angle, and since it is a little outdated to this day in 2022. I know people would debate first person or third person since they are both the modern cameras that Capcom uses for Resident Evil games, specifically the third person of the remakes, and 7 and 8 for first person. But for me, out of those two cameras, I would actually say both. I am aware that there is a big rumor that Resident Evil 4 Remake will have both first and third person cameras, and it will be very interesting to see if that rumor turns out to be true. However, if a Resident Evil game was going to feature both of those camera angles, I really think it should be another remake of Resident Evil 1. So in overall, I believe if RE1 does get another remake, it should get both camera angles. Why? Because it is the perfect Resident Evil game to do so. We've gotten fan-made mods of what the game could look like in the first person, as you guys can see on the screen right now. Resident Evil 7 was the perfect game to use this camera, and with similar atmospheres to RE1 and RE7 both have, why not use this camera angle in the Spencer Mansion? Now, correct me in the comments section if I am wrong about this, but originally a Capcom developer wanted Resident Evil to be first person, and what better way to remake the game that started it all and use that specific camera in the game you wanted that camera to be in, if that makes sense to you guys. I think you guys know what I mean. And I mean, we've seen that before with the old school RE games. We saw it with Dead Aim, we saw it with Gun Survivor, or whatever the title is called. It definitely looked a lot like Doom. Even if some fans don't like first person, or if they are tired of it from the previous Resident Evil games, which I have seen that as of recently and I do not blame them for that, there is always the very modern third person camera perspective. Now of course it would be very cool to have all of the camera angles in this game. Like I said, we already got the fixed camera angle in the 2002 remake, so I really don't see a reason for that to come back, and again, it's pretty outdated. The Resident Evil Remix mod on the Residents of Evil channel showcases Resident Evil 1, but it's inside of Resident Evil 4. Yeah, it's a little bit of a clusterfuck, but you guys know what I'm talking about once again. This mod does showcase what third-person camera perspective could potentially look like, but the RE4 third-person camera is a little outdated compared to the RE2 Remake third-person camera and RE3 Remake, but a lot of fans want to see this game in the RE engine, and some Resident Evil characters that haven't even gotten the chance to be showcased using that. Specifically, I am talking about younger versions of Chris Redfield, Barry Burton, and Albert Wesker, and you could even include people like Enrico or Richard Aiken, I should say, and even Lisa Trevor. Now, the biggest question of all is, will this remake even happen at all? Who knows, really? 10 years down the road, we could be getting a reveal trailer to Resident Evil when the OG characters get old and their story arcs are 100% done. I also want to share a fan-made concept art I saw on a couple of YouTube thumbnails, and it clearly looks like this person put a lot of work into that art. So shout out to code UMB or code 87. I would also like to see Crimson Heads, Lisa Trevor, Hunters, even though we saw them in RE3 Remake, Plan 42, and so many other great things, including the most important piece of all, the Spencer Mansion inside the RE engine. Seeing all those things and other stuff as well would be absolutely amazing to see in the RE engine, and I honestly would love to see this game happen. And I know Remake talk has been at an all-time high in the RE community, and I made multiple videos about remakes and stop making remaking games possibly, but it feels very inevitable, so those are my thoughts on this topic. But what are your guys' thoughts on this video? My thoughts is this would be absolutely amazing to see. I may have mentioned this multiple times, but I think this is definitely a game that Capcom should definitely take advantage of when it comes to a remake when the time is right. Whether if you are done with the OG characters and move on to a new generation, or you're completely done with the story arcs and you decided to just say, we are done with the OG characters and that is the end of the RE franchise and we're just going to focus on remaking some games that deserve remakes. I would love to see this when the time is right, whether if it's 5 years down the road or 10 years down the road. I think this is definitely a game that a lot of people would absolutely love to see. But that is enough of my rambling for today's video. If you guys ended up enjoying this, be sure to leave a like and a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you love the Resident Evil franchise. And what are your thoughts on RE1 getting another remake? Should it happen or should it not? Let me know in the comment section down below and voice your opinions down there. And thank you guys for watching this video. Most importantly, I hope you guys have yourselves a good day, a good night, and a good sleep. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, and much love.